guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foss from Kyuujin. And today we are back again, guys, with Cowboy Bebop, episode 23.
So last episode, Spike met a guy named Cowboy Andy.
Literal cowboy.
Who moved on to Samurai at the end because he was defeated as a cowboy. But yeah, Andy was basically blonde Spike. Same personality, same reputation.
A little bit more dumb.
A bit more extravagant, but
Yeah.
they are so similar that like everyone was seeing it except Spike, who got really butthurt about the whole thing. So it turned into a duel. They forgot about the target. They went at each other, and Faye and Jet had to get the guy themselves. So it was really goofy. It was really funny. It's nice to see Spike show some emotions other than, you know, the quiet, blue stuff. Yeah, it was funny to see him just show everything and be all out. So yeah, let's jump in this episode right away. I mean, there's nothing else to say. Well, we have 4 episodes to go till the end, and I'm excited to see what other adventure we get into. So don't forget to subscribe, you guys, if you want to see more of these episodes, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright, in the meantime, let's go.
You want to show your swordfish?
Yay! I did the swordfish? Swordfish shit.
It looks cool.
Yep.
Because a true reaction isn't a true reaction without decorations. Illuminati!
肉体とは何か、我々の持つ魂という名の神を宿すにはあまりにも汚れ切った存在である。肉体があるからこそあまたの欲望が生まれ、
I'm kind of
欲望がある
hypnotized.
限り人間のエゴはなくならない。
Can't look away. This is too much.
目覚めよ、魂。今こそ汚れた肉体
Kind
を
of like
捨
open
て
your
よ。
third eye, transcend the body.
我々は電子民財団スクラッチ
How does that tie in with us today?
まずは電子民財団スクラッチのニュースから。先週のロンデス教祖の指名
It's
手
the
配を
history of Scratch.
ISSB および各太陽系警察では上級信
No,
者
those are
の
the
一斉家
channels.
宅捜索を開始します。
It's giving me like
手軽な入信
dangerous cult
当の
vibes.
話を合言
Yeah.
葉に次々と信者を増やしていたスクラッチですが、またしても自殺者が。スクラッチの信者たちはこの新型ゲーム機の脳波コントロール機能を使って
Oh.
自分の脳波をスキャンし、脳波から精神をデジタルデータとしてコピーすると言われるプログラム
Oh my god, Black Mirror, get out of here.
Yeah.
So there's people in
the network.
internet.
We're gonna fight Ultron, guys.
くだらんね、こりゃ SF だよ。
それでもう2週間も帰ってこないね。もしかしたら誘拐がしようとそうよ。最近流行りのノートがいう宗教よ。
はい、ここで CM。
ではあなたが入信したきっかけというのは？
Faye.
No.
私借金まみれの生活に疲れ
No,
て
this is today.
そんな時見つけたんです。体がなくなればお金もいらないんです。
Is she pretending to
Yeah, she pretending
get
to
someone?
get
Yeah.
them.
肉体から
最近見ないと思ったのに一体何の冗談だ。
Okay.
No, it's not true, right?
They haven't seen her in a while.
新発売のゲーム機ファインドリームは
They're pretending it's a game so people buy it and get it.
Yeah.
思い通りに操作できないコードが絡まる。そんな時
It's
は
so accurate.
一緒にレッツトリー。
お、あったあった。
I'm hoping she's after the bounty and she wasn't just, you know,
She got
manipulated.
caught up in it.
なんと3800万。
She would go after that.
こいつはな、今から50年前には脳科学の研究者だったらしい。神の啓示とやらを受けて人間の精神。2年前に突然電子移民財団スクラッチを設立。まあ、新手の宗教団体だな。
Very
こいつが
dangerous.
言うには人間の脳の働きってのは微弱な電気パルスの流れだからそいつをデータと
Spike, fuck.
プログラム魂だけの存在になるってことらしいんだが、信者の
Stick with it.
Can't waste food.
100人近くが自殺したり行方不明になったりしてる。
あなたの魂を邪悪な肉
Be
体から
careful,
解き放
though.
ち 無限に広がる電子の宇宙へ導く神のしもべ。
Like, this guy knows his stuff.
Who knows what they can do with it?
Wait, you think that she's pretending?
No, she's
Okay.
pretending.
Okay. Thank you.
I needed one look at her face without cameras.
You're gonna die in 7 days.
7 days. Oh shit. Brainwaves and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, in fiction especially, we can do whatever we want with it. But even in real life, stuff like that would be fucking dangerous.
じゃああなたも信者になりたいと。第一段階として。
その前にちょっとそのロンデスさん
So accurate. Oh yeah, thank you.
天国ですよ。
He's in heaven. He's in the network.
Has he left his body? Is his mind in the network, like you said?
当時の奴の同僚で生き残ってんのはあんただけなんだ。何でもいいから思い出せんか。いたようないなかったような。
ではあなたも信者になりたいと？
その前にちょっと聞きたいんだけど、ロンデスさんに会いたいんだよ。
本当に入信希望者？
You're not subtle. It's like he disappeared.
そんなわけで話題沸騰のドクター・ロンデスなんだけど、みんな必死こいて探してるみたいだけど、とにかく情報がないんだよ。
I kind of wish we could have met these two at least once.
These two?
さて、ここでもう一つ重大なニュースがあるんだ。長らくご愛顧いただいたこの番組、突然だけど今回で最終回なんだ。
What?
警視庁室のため打ち消してわけさ。
Oh, I just said I wanted to meet them and they're gonna be gone. Things are changing. The guy could be dead. I mean, if we talk about cults, it's always about the idea of what they can do. You don't need someone alive for an idea.
ちょっとやばいのよ。マジで借金とはおさらばできそう。
We need to help our girl.
I'm thinking this might be an actual thing because we're reaching the end of the show, so maybe we get to save, solve all of their problems.
電子民財団スクラッチへようこそ。入信希望の方はこのまままっすぐ。
いきなり精神コピーはできないのか。仕方ね
入信ですね。
データデータ嘘データ
Marshall banana.
血と肉、そして骨。
Borrachos and data. Oh. What is it, I'm?
その先にあるもの。
Trust the dog always.
なんだろう。かつてどんな救いの導きもここまで明確なビジョンを持たなかった。
It's
It's
brainwashing.
yeah. Hypnosis and shit.
目覚めよ、魂。
Thank you, Ryan. Best member. Best fucking member.
MVP.
キリトは交感神経を麻痺させる何かの細工があるらしい。アインのやつが気づいて噛んでくれなかったら、今頃俺もスクラッチ死んじゃう。
Such a good doggy.
とにかく何らかの対策を講じてたな。次は俺が入信してみるわ。おい、スペグ。
Daredevil. Challenge accepted. As usual. Uh-huh.
犬にもノウハウあるだろう。
Although I am against putting Ayn in danger for
Yeah.
the sake of experimenting.
You mean Gina?
お、いい調子だぞ、エイド。なんてこった。ロンデスなんて男は存在しない。
I knew it. I thought he was dead but never existed. Makes sense too. The guy said, did he have existed?
Maybe yes, maybe not.
ここ。アリス・バレー・ホスピス。エド、手伝ってくれ。
Don't leave Ayn here.
He's gonna be fine. He's a strong dog.
Oh wow.
はい。
Yeah.
She's so cute.
Now you said to Ed to call you dad, like she's never gonna go back. Careful.
So we are fighting the
こ
Matrix
こ
then.
には見舞いを喜ぶやつなんていないし、作家もお前らは遺産相続目当てに。とんでもない。この娘の双子の兄がここにいるんです。娘って本当に女の子か。
Everyone has been asking. Have you seen Sleepaway
眠
Camp?
ってもらってるだけだ。他の賞金稼ぎたちはそのまま死んでしまったようだがね。やっと見つけたその生き別れの兄がここにいると分かったんです。娘もショックだったんでしょう。
Insane ever
しま
since.
ってせめて一目だけでも兄に
But
会わせ
it's
てくれ。
working.
いいな。
You can go. I'm with
な
you.
ぜ信者たちの命を。私は何も強制していない。人はなぜ神を信じると思う。
Because they need hope.
信じたいからさ。この腐りきった世界で生きていくのは容易なことじゃない。神が人間を作ったんじゃない。人間が神を作ったんだ。
Oh, this episode is gonna raise some flags with some people.
こんな猿芝居はもううんざりだぞ。ロンデスなんて男はこの世に存在しない。俺が作り出した架空のキャラクター。こいつはブレインドリームと同じ脳波コントロールか。
He escaped through the machines and stuff.
人間の作った最高で最低の発明は何だかわかるか。テレビさ。
Oh.
テレビは情報によって人を操り、人から現実感を喪失させていく。
Fake news.
そう、今やテレビこそが宗教なのさ。
That I could believe it.
テレビにこんな馬鹿げた妄想のドラマに簡単に騙されてしまう人間たちを作ったんだ。
Don't fall asleep, man.
There's way too many screens.
まるでガキだな。何？妄想と現実の区別がついてないのはお前の方だよ。夢なら一人で見な。私の何を知ってるというんだ。何をする。やめて。
Good thing that we work as a team because,
消さないでよ。僕は何をしたっていうんだ。いや、
what do you think? A lot of people are dead because of you.
どうして僕だけがみんな僕と同じ体になればよかったんだ。
Didn't want to be alone.
消えたくないよ。消えたくない。
The music is giving me meditation vibes.
元ハッカー。2年前、13歳の時に医療事故で植物状態になった少年か。お前はもう少年じゃない。立派な詐欺師だよ。全部子供の夢だったんだな。奴にとっては夢を見るしかなかったんだ。
But he used that as a weapon, which is bad.
今度はいい夢見てね。
我々は神より与えられた魂。人間の宇宙で暮らし広大なネットを泳ぐ術を手にした我々の精神にとってこの肉体はあまりにも小さくて脆弱な存在ではないだろうか。
Okay. No See You Space Cowboy in this one.
This one was a really sad episode if you think about it.
Really sad, really
Because-
creepy, really real.
The cult and suicide fact aside,
Well, there's several
It's just-
aspects to the
yeah,
episode.
but technically, to sum it up, it's just a kid who didn't want to be alone.
And I think also a kid who was pissed at what was done to him, like it's a medical error, you know, like he didn't, it was an accident, he didn't deserve any of this, and fate led him to be a vegetable who was stuck in his head and he tried to escape, and yeah, like it's, you say you don't want to be alone,
He
So he
asked,
created-
why am I the only one like this?
Yeah,
Why
I'm-
can anybody can have the same body
True.
body as me?
there's like two versions to what he just said. Like maybe part of it is like he's so, you know, he's mad that now he's stuck in this reality, he's stuck in his head and stuff, that he kind of wishes that others would suffer the same fate. And on a more beautiful side of it, it's like you said, like he is alone in this universe, so he's trying to get people to escape through dreams, just like he is. So like he's not the only one to do that.
Yeah, but he's the only one that is being kept alive through machines.
Yeah, that's
The other
thing.
ones just die in their sleep because there's no food, no water, no nothing.
Yeah.
You don't survive that.
And I mean, the way he managed to control these people and get them to join and basically die, you know, and join him in this dream and stuff is also really realistic in a way, because it's true that it's easy to make people believe anything in this world where there's so much bad, there's so much stuff happening. Like people need something to believe in. They need hope. They need a promise that everything is going to be better
A way
in
to
the end.
escape.
Exactly. So they do choose to follow a certain god. They do choose religion. Like we're not born believing in anything. Like we do choose to follow that.
Well, I mean, we've seen stories of cultists. Like
Well,
the-
cults. The cult is the other part of the story, but
Yeah.
now I'm talking about how, you know, how he managed to get people. Well, the cult is similar. A religion is a sort of cult, if you think about it. So you get people to follow your ideals, your way of thinking, because they need that way of thinking to survive. You know, they believe that without it, there's no other way. They're gonna die, or they're not gonna achieve, you know, the perfect life that they think they deserve, or the one they want, or, you know, they think that they'll be damned after death. Like there are so many reasons why people follow cults, religions, and it's sad for, you know, because since people need it so much, it is easy to create one out of nowhere and have people follow it, because you lie to them, you give them hope, you give them the thing that they're missing, and they're gonna be like a fish with the bait. They're gonna follow, and sometimes they're gonna die following it. None the wiser, because they'll never, you know, understand. So it's brainwashing. It's you make them believe in something that, you know, if you talk about that to anyone else, they'll be like, well, that makes no sense. Like where did you get your facts and stuff? But it doesn't really matter. They believe in it, and belief is really strong. When someone believes in something, it's really difficult to make them change their beliefs, make them change their mind on things. So he's right. Like the way he did that is really true to even, you know, today we still hear about this. Like we've heard about
Yeah.
cults in the past, about people, you know, doing extreme things and terrible things for their faith, and it still happens today. And the way that he also managed to, you know, join television and
Well,
make it into
we
the
are-
ultimate religion, like it's crazy, because I hear him and I think it's kind of true.
It is kind of true because nowadays people are, well, sort of addicted to technology like television, media, their cell phones.
Yeah.
Like it is pretty damn hard for most of us to do without day to days, right?
I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that
But
the
it's
thing is, the internet and television was presented to us as facts. So what you see, like for a lot of people, especially the older generation, everything they see on TV or on the internet
must be true.
must be true, because
Yeah.
it was written on the internet. Like, but anyone can write on the internet. Anyone can say anything on television. It's not because you see something on TV that it's true. But just like everything I said about religion, about cults, about how people need reassurance, hope, something to believe in. It's
not
kind of the
because
same
someone
thing.
told you this that it must be true.
Yeah,
So
someone
you need
who
to make your own
claims-
judgment.
Someone who claims to be an expert is going to tell you something on TV, you must believe it. But we're from the generation that grew up with technology and stuff. I'm not saying that people our age don't fall for these traps, but I think that it's easier for us to doubt everything that we're seeing, because we grew up with the don't believe everything that you're seeing. TV is not facts, and question everything you read online because it's not always true.
What I mean, it is true that in school, when we needed to do reports or tests, we were always asked to have multiple sources, and for one topic, to not take at
Face value.
what we
What you read online.
what we read online and what we found. So take multiple sources, and between these multiple facts, you must find the truth somewhere.
If
you know?
you read several articles or hear from specialists about the same topic and they all agree on the topic, then what they say is probably true. I'm not
Yeah.
saying true because there's still doubt and no one knows everything. So we question everything, but it's not crazy to imagine that people would be watching TV and if someone says something on the news, they would believe it. There's been issues about this in the US. I mean, I'm saying the US because I have actual proof of that. We saw what happened with Trump, all the fake news stuff, everyone, doubting what was being said on TV. One channel says one thing because they support one candidate, the other channel says something else because they believe in the other candidate.
Yeah.
We can't trust anything because nothing is objective. When you watch the news, it should be objective, but people have their opinions. People have their, they have the higher ups that they follow. They can't be completely subjective. It's not a robot that's reading the facts. It's someone who's writing the script, who's telling the script. It's subjective, and whenever there's subjectivity, you can't trust it. That's why your opinion matters, everyone else's opinion matters, but you always have to question. Even your opinion matters because you don't know your opinion is not to be trusted or believed because you are basing your opinion off of things that you heard, maybe things that you grew up in a certain way, you heard about certain things, you were taught a certain way, so you're gonna judge things based off of that. It's not completely objective.
Sorry. So basically, even ourselves are biased to what's going on, right?
Yeah, even if so sometimes people would be saying oh, you were there, you saw something firsthand, so you must be reliable when it comes to telling the story, but that's not true. First of all, memory is not perfect. We talked about this with the Faye episode with the beta tape. Memory is not like a movie. If you see something happen, you're not necessarily going to remember it the way it happened. So you can't rely on that, and you're going to judge a situation based off of prejudices, the way you were brought up. Like I did a paper on this. I did studies on Japan and China and their culture and their history, and I did a paper on Japan and Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and it was about teaching us how to be historians, and we had to talk about the validity of one person who survived Hiroshima and how he remembered things. And I remember finishing the paper by saying that even though his recollection of what happened was firsthand, like he was there, he saw it happen, we can't completely believe what he's saying as true. As historians, we can't take what he's saying and write it as facts because he was brought up in Japan. He's emotionally involved because it's his people that died. It's his it's his town. It's the people that he grew up with. It's there, and even if he says that years later he doesn't have a hatred for the Americans and stuff, like he still lived it and suffered the consequences. So what he recalls from this time is full of emotions, full of trauma, full of stuff that doesn't make his recollection facts. It makes it an emotional recollection. So as historians, we can't write it as this is how it happened because he was there. That's not true.
Yeah.
There's too many things that are clouding his judgment.
Technically, can also say the same thing about just historic book in general.
Everything in history.
Because-
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think you've said it enough time, but history is written by the winners. I mean,
Yeah.
and those who survive. So we just got one face value about what happened back then.
And I mean, the episode wasn't even about that, but he raised
No,
the
but
point
technically it's connected.
He raised the point,
Some
yeah.
way it is connected to it.
But yeah, it is incredibly scary how easy it is to manipulate people and get them to abandon their selves or do terrible things because of beliefs.
But I mean, there was a problem. I think there's still a problem that people are saying that with television or with video games, like there was or there is increase in violence because we've seen so much stuff online that we're being desensitized.
Well, that's yes, but I don't see the point in this episode.
We're being influenced by television, by the media.
Yeah, but people
Yeah.
have counterpoints on that though. like I know there's been a debate for years that people say video games influence crime and stuff when in fact it's not true. Like it's kind of like the older generation doesn't like the new technology, so they're kind of devilizing it, kind of like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original one, when the kid that in our version with the kid that was like dressed like a cowboy, he loved TV so much and it was portrayed as a bad thing, when in fact, like, I'm not gonna say that technology and TV didn't bring anything good. Like now we can speak to people all over the world. Like it's so easy to get information. It's just that it's easy to get information. That's why we gotta question everything. But it doesn't mean that it's completely bad or that it influences people. Like you still live your life, you still make your choices. So I'm not saying like they're to blame, but the people that are influenced are so easily manipulable. It's easy to manipulate the people. So we gotta be careful. Like it's the people that need to change. It's not necessarily the TV and stuff. Like it's the people that should question what they hear a lot more. But yeah. I thought it was a really deep episode when it comes to the message. But it's always I'm gonna say that first. It's always very daring when an anime, especially, because it's not intended for big debates like this. So I always think it's really cool when an anime goes beyond just the storytelling and they tell you a message. They talk about something that's really...
It's not just for kids.
Exactly. Well, I mean, we know, especially like Cowboy Bebop is not for kids.
Not for kids.
It's not for kids at all.
But it's
and we know that.
And it's spaceships.
No, we know that, but I mean, older generations might not
some
get
people
that.
don't.
Our parents, like my dad, just keeps making fun of anything cartoon or anime. Like, oh, it's for kids. Like, fuck off. Did you watch it? Like,
come on. I used to watch a cartoon named Red Wolf, and they torture people in this show. Come on. Seriously.
Yeah. No, the message is really intense, and it's really true to even today's standards and to what's happening today, even if it was made in the 90s. So it's always cool whenever a show like that goes beyond and tells that kind of message.
I'd like to have your opinion on something, sort of a Black Mirror related.
It was kind of similar to Black Mirror.
Well, do you think that someday we might be able to put our mind into the network?
I don't think we can put our mind into a network. I think we could perhaps...
Well, technically, it's not Black Mirror. It's Steins Gate. Yeah.
Steins
like our
Gate,
recollection of our own memory.
It was memories.
AI then.
I mean, we can record things because of light and stuff. Memory, it's shocks of electricity in your brain. Like it's information through the nerves and stuff. Like I don't know if we can recreate that, if we can have that and make AIs, for example, and put information into AIs. And we can, take someone's brain signals and just jump into that. Like, I don't know how advanced technology is in that department. Like, I'm not well versed in that field. But if we can manage to recreate the brain synapses, the messages that the brain sends, and have the memories of someone recorded, then yes, we could put that into an AI and technically create put ourselves into a being. But then that being would not be us, because we change every second. Everything that happens around us changes us. So that thing would have the same memories, but then from the second it's created, it would be its own thing and it would grow into something else.
Not ourselves.
Yeah. So its experience would be completely different. So it has our memories, and I think at the second it gets created, it is us. But after that, it's something else. So is it possible? Metaphorically speaking, I don't think so.
Okay.
Technologically speaking, maybe we can recreate something similar to the concept, but we could not be, at least not at this point, because I don't know what happens in the future, but I don't think we can put ourselves in the network.
To transfer our own memories and stuff. Our
We
own
could.
being.
If we can transfer the memories, it's something else, but we couldn't be in the network and control it the way it happened in this episode.
Yeah, that'd be just something, just a clean slate. And
Although, like, come back in 50 years and tell me if it changed, I don't know. We won't be there when it happens,
Well,
but
who knows? Technology is advanced so quick this time, right?
I mean, stuff that
We're already creating robots. And
I know
AIs.
stuff that was impossible 100 years ago is now possible today. So what can be possible in 100 years? This is really crazy when it comes to technology. Like, it's not that crazy to imagine someone could fly when you create the machine to do it.
Well,
like,
we can create a jetpack.
No, but I'm saying that it's not biology. It's not anything like that. Like, it's not like it's not magic either. It makes sense that we would evolve and go towards that. But when we're talking about the brain, there's just so much that we don't understand about it still. So I don't know if it's possible.
True.
Kind of, and I mean, it's kind of like I said. As soon as we create the thing, the being with our memories, it becomes its own thing. So it's no longer us. It's kind of like it's a contradiction. Kind of like time travel. Like, time travel can't exist by definition, because if we go back and change something, the reason why we went back is no longer valid, doesn't exist anymore, so there's no reason to go back. You know, it erases
Paradox.
itself. It's a paradox, yeah.
Yay. I got the term right, thank you. Okay, a little bit ethical point then.
Yeah.
Sorry. We know that this kid got a medical accident. He was technically a vegetable.
Which is unfair, but doesn't give him the right to do what he did.
Is it ethical to... Well, they did keep him alive basically by putting
he's not dead.
his mind in the network.
He was hurting people. They took away his tools. They took away, like, if he had just been traveling and being nice and stuff, like, that's one thing, but he was using that to hurt people. That wasn't his goal, but because they make the choice themselves, but he knew what he was doing.
No, what I'm asking is, do you think that if we had the means that regarding people who have the same sort of accident, like they are vegetable, do you think that if we had the means that we should maybe do the same thing with them to keep them alive through the machine like this?
Have their mind be in the network, so they can live like that. Well, I mean, the concept is great. It's just that since everyone believes what they see on TV, if they have total power over what happens on TV, that's saying a lot. I mean, that's giving them a lot of power, and not everyone would be nice about it. Everyone deserves to live, but people would have to be aware. Like, if they can live in the network, people watching TV should be aware. Like, okay, what you're seeing right now is someone that exists, but what he's pretended, like, he pretended to be someone. He changed his appearance. He gave himself a story. People, like, they managed to track down actual colleagues of his that never worked with him. So he really built something by doing this, and people believed it because it was on TV, but they never questioned it. If we could question it, if we could have proof somehow that this person can change their appearance, can change their background, can give themselves diplomas and shit, like, yeah, that's great. Like, we get people to live their life even if their body can go on, but we got to make sure that they can do something like that, because it would be dangerous.
Or maybe not the network, but I think we got an episode in Black Mirror that was similar. Like, your body is dead, but your mind is connected to, like, a machine. You're talking and living through a machine. Do you think that it's a type of life or not?
It's bittersweet, but as long as people know what they're getting themselves into, I'm okay with it, because they're gonna make their own decision. But the Black Mirror story, I don't even remember what we talked about, but I know what episode you're talking about.
They didn't have a choice.
It's bittersweet because what they are living in, it's not the same though. Like, they were living in another reality. They couldn't influence anyone outside of it. That's not the same. The one in Black Mirror is bittersweet, and it's not real, and it feels fake, but they knew what they were getting themselves into, and if they get to live happily ever after together in that dimension, that's good for them. In this one, it's giving power to people and allowing them to lie on TV, the guy used it as a weapon, and if he did it, other people could do it. So that's why, like, if that became a thing, we would need to make sure that people understand how it works, and people can
might
question
abuse it.
People are dumb, you guys. Like, people believe too many things.
Humans are dumb.
Yeah,
That's it.
everyone's dumb.
Yep.
In any case, this is gonna be it because I'm losing my voice. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next ones right away, they are on Patreon already. You can check them out. The link is in the description below.
Yeah, and if you don't, the next one will be out on YouTube soon. So check community to see when.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.